Oh, hello. It's another Sunday afternoon where I've got a little bit of time, so I thought I would try and do a video for you again. Sorry if the quality of my voice isn't so good, but I've had a stinking summer cold all week and I've only just got my voice back. As you can probably see by what's underneath the camera, I'm going to be doing something with the Altenew Stamp Wheel today. It's the first time I've had a chance to play with it, because when we got them in the first time they sold out in a matter of hours, and the one I allocated to myself I actually sold, so this is the first time I've had a chance to open it and actually have a play with it. Okay, so it comes in a really pretty box, and then once you've got the wheel itself, when you unpackage it, the acrylic top you'll see looks frosted. There is a plastic sheath on the back of it, so you want to peel that off so that it's transparent to make it easier to work with. Then you've got a sticky mat that you peel the backs off and put inside, and that comes with a grid. I've actually stuck my grid underneath. I've just used a bit of blue tack to stick it to the bottom of the stamp wheel base. I found this an easier way of seeing where my paper is in the middle. I don't think that's what they intended it to do. They do have the alignment guides that you can buy, but if you're using non-standard cardstock, which I have here, then this is just an easy way to make sure that you're lined up centrally. Okay, so that's the basics of the wheel itself. And the wheel can do lots of different things, so it's a tool that you can stamp with. I know lots of people are loving it for stenciling because of the sticky mat. Makes it really easy to hold the stencil down and do colouring without getting ink on your hands. But the thing that I was most excited about by it was the ability to do wreath stamping. And I know there's lots of videos out there showing floral wreaths. But what I wanted to try first was to do a sentiment wreath. Not exactly a wreath, but basically a load of circular sentiments. What you get on the stamp wheel are all these markings. I don't know how easy it is to see, but all the way around and at different depths you get these little marks. So that's how you can work out how, and then you turn it, and that's how you work out how to get your circular images. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to say this wasn't a first go and get it perfect. I had a play, and I will show you my results from the first go. I had to play a lot to find sentiments that fit the gaps perfectly. So as you can see, this is my working out. I've gone over with lots of different colours, but this is the sort of thing that we're aiming for, and hopefully this time it's going to be a bit better. So I'm using Itty Bitty, sorry, find the camera. I'm using Itty Bitty Basics from My Favourite Things as my stamp set for this. But any sentiments that you've got, you just need to play around and find ones that'll, like I said, fit your gaps. So I'm starting with the longest one for the outside. So this is awesome at any age. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the marker for the outside, lining it up. I'm using the little circular hole in the stamp wheel top as my alignment guide. So I'm just going to take the middle of my sentiment, and then I'm going to give it roughly a curve. And now I do love this bit because I do a lot of curving of sentiments on my acrylic block, and it can be quite difficult to get it right. But this, because you can do it on top and then just flip it over when you're ready to ink it, means it's just so easy. So that's my, and then I can tweak it because it's not quite as evenly spaced out as I would like it. I'm looking for a gentle curve. Okay, so now we're ready. So that's going to go in place there. I'm going to do a sort of a rainbow. So I've got red, yellow, green and blue, and I'm using VersaFine inks because I find those best for sentiments. So now we're going to start the circle. So we link it up with the red to begin with. And I'm going to put the hole in the template at the top where it says stamp wheel, and I'm going to do my first impression. Okay, and then ink it up again off camera. Sorry, there's not a lot of room under my camera setup. And then for my next one, I'm going to take that same hole, but I'm going to line it up into the first golden corner. So that's my second sentiment. And then again, we'll ink it up a third time. And then again, this time it's going to go in between the two sentiments. Sorry, between the two gold corners. And slot it into place and stamp again. And you can see the idea, we're just going to keep building up a completely circular sentiment. So this is going to go then into the corner, stamp, and again into the middle, stamp. So you can see once you've got it in one place, it's just a case of remembering which point you did last and then taking it to the next point. And there are, I'm doing 8 for this one, but there are more than 8 points that you can stamp at. So you'll see in a minute you can do lots of fun things. I think this will be fun for like men's cards where you never know what to put on them, and so you can just fill the whole front of the card with lots of sentiments and you're good to go. Okay, so this is the final sentiment for this layer. Okay, so I'm just going to take that off and pop it to one side. Get rid of that ink colour. I'm going to swap to yellow now. So this is Yellow Cheerful from Versafine. And then my second sentiment is Cue the Confetti. So I'm going to just put my wheel back into position again. And then I'm going to do exactly what I did again, but I'm going to go for the next level down of the little markings. And what I'm actually going to do is make sure that I'm crossing the join so that the sentiments look more lined up. But then I'm just going to repeat the process again. So ink it up, flip it over, and then we're going to start there. And that's our first one. So we're just going to do the same process again. And I think what we might do is speed the video up at this point when we get to the editing. So I'll just keep going. And there we have the second row. So again, I'll get rid of that stamp and that colour. And then for the next row, this is where I had all the fun trying to make it work on this row. I kept getting sentiments where only 5 repeats fitted or an odd number fitted, so you had a weird gap. So what I chose to do, excuse me, when I finally worked it out, was to use the tiny little HB2U stamp, and then I can stamp it at every point all the way around. So again, I'm going to do exactly the same as I have on the previous layers. This one's a bit harder to get. You just want a tiny bit of an arc in it. Because it's such a small stamp, it won't arc as much as the others, but you will get a bit of a curve from it. So then again, we're going to do exactly the same, start there, but then with this one, I'm going to do all the in-betweens as well. So once we've done the first, so we started at 12 o'clock, we're going to go 1, and then repeat, and into the next hole. So by following the hole around your board, you really can't go wrong. This tool just makes it so easy. I've done sentiments similar to this for cards before, and it's taken me hours of messing around trying to get the look that I wanted. This is just going to mean I'm going to do this a lot, and I've got a bit of ink on my tool. Excuse me a minute. Just wipe that off. It's because I'm the camera setup that we have doesn't where I perch on the end of our desk doesn't give me a lot of room to ink up, so I'm doing it in mid-air, which is not ideal. That one's a bit smudged, but hey ho, you don't get perfect crafting with me. I'm a Bob Ross happy accident kind of girl. There's a few more to stamp on this level. Oops, this won't go backwards. And it was the markings on this are etched, not just drawn on. So if you do need to clean it, which I will do after I finish this, then you're not going to rub the lines off. So that's a good design feature that Altenew put into it. So there we go. Hopefully you're starting to see how the finished card's going to look now. The green finished ones. I'm just going to give this a quick. It's just water I'm playing with, so it's not going to be perfect, but it will get the worst of it off for now. Okay. And then for the final sentiment, I've gone with Make a Wish. So again, you'll see now the lines are coming much closer together, the little markings. And that makes the arcing of the sentiment even easier to achieve. So just line those up, as we've done before. Ink it, flip it, start stamping. That's not straight. So let's try that again. I want my Make-A-Wish at the top to be centralised so that it reads right as we go round, and that was slightly off-centred. Let's see if that's a bit better. No, still not right. Yep, we're good now. Down. And there we go. So this one's only going to have 4 repeats. So we're just going to do the middle of the gold bars on each one. There we go. So that's my final finished. So hopefully you can see there you've got a rainbow of sentiments. So that should make a nice card on its own. Or what I might do, you could go, there are no more markings to go in the middle, but you could use a small stamp again and just match the arch, and it would go round as they have done before. But what I might do is use a little die cut cupcake or a stamped cupcake, and pop that in the middle, or a little creature, or whatever you want to pop in the middle. That should just finish the card off. Okay, so that's my first outing with the stamp wheel. Hope you found that interesting and it's inspired you to go and find some sentiments and start circular stamping. Okay, thanks very much. Happy crafting. Hi, I'm not going to get used to this stopping and starting and ending video business. I'm back now to finish it off, so ignore the fact that I just said goodbye, happy crafting. I'll do that again in a minute. What I thought I'd do is I'm going to put a cake in the middle of the card. So I've used the little greetery cake die, which I can't remember the name of. Rick will look up for me, so bear with me. So I've just...
Take the Cake Mini.
Yeah, it's Take the Cake Mini, sorry. So what I've done is I've just die cut it from a bit of white paper, and then, as you can see from the scribbles and the bits that are left, I've just cut the rainbow, the 5 layers, and made it a rainbow cake. Ooh, and my glue's all running now. So what I'm going to do now is just assemble the layers of the cake to make it into a cake. So I've got the base layer, and I'm just going to layer the layers of the cake onto it. It's going to be a bit messy, but it'll dry. And this is what happens when you're waving the glue around in your hand before you start the video going. Like I said, I'm new to this. I'm going to do the green layer. And the blue. So there we have a rainbow cake. And then I've got the candles. The candles come in 2 sizes. I've gone for the tall ones. So I'm just going to poke those out. I've just coloured the bottom of the candle silver with a silver marker. And then I've used the same orange and yellow that I've used on the cake layer to make the flames. So we'll turn them over. Add a tiny dot of glue, and I've got glue all over my fingers. This is not going well, guys. Okay. And then we're just gonna drop one of the tiny candle flames. There it is. And layer that on top. And it's sticking to me. That's it. Can't do anything without these tweezers. If these tweezers go missing, then my crafting life is over. Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit quiet. This is a bit of a fiddly bit, and my voice is going again now. So now I'm gonna pick up the cake. I'm gonna use a bit of the excess glue off there, and I'm gonna stick. Sorry, going camera shot. I'm gonna stick the first candle centrally behind my cake. It's sticking to me. Put my glue on. Live crafting, folks. It's not super polished, but it's real. My third one, I'm trying to slightly vary the height and the angles a bit. So one central and then a couple at a quirky angle. Okay, let's And the card back in. Apply some more glue to the bottom. I'm going to put it on a stand, but I need to put glue on the stand, so I'm going to put it in place first. Oh, I've still got this in my hand, so work out where I'm going. So that's going to there. So that's my cake in place. Now we can space that out a bit. And a bit of glue behind the stand, which I've just cut from a bit of silver glitter that just happened to be on my desk from a previous crafting session. Yeah. And then I'm just going to try and take off some of the excess glue. Now it's down. Yeah. If you don't tell anybody, then nobody will ever know that I made a mess. Okay, so there we have the completed card. As I said, nice and simple, but hopefully that's given you some ideas of how not to get messy. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.